The Rock announced on Thursday night that he was going to be on Smackdown on Friday. And because it was in New Orleans, everybody basically knew. They put 2 and 2 together. And it was like, okay, he's coming out to say WrestleMania 42 is coming to New Orleans. But because they announced, or we found out that matches were canceled because of his segment, and that they were going to be having a post Smackdown press conference, you were like, all right, it's going to be more than just coming out there and being like, WrestleMania is coming. Like, you knew that. So he comes out. Cody at the top of the show finds out that The Rock wants him in the ring later on.
He's pissed.
So, yeah, so he pulled him out of that match. And I have so much to say, and like I don't know where to start.
Well, I liked it, so I'll start there.
Okay. No, and
I liked it.
So this gave me vibes of the Raw after Mania, where it was just very confusing and just awkward to watch. And I attribute that to The Rock being a last minute addition, and they give him too much freedom to go out there and not have much planned. Like, he doesn't really have a path about with like how he's going to go about saying what he wants to say. And so that's why it kind of comes off like it's dragging or awkward, because I'm sure he went out there and it's like, okay, I want to say that I want him to be my champion and whatever. But then he goes out there and says that about 18 times. He then says he wants his soul and then grabs his face. And it was like, what is happening here? What? And this is the reason, you know, one of the things that I was frustrated about the fact that he was going to be there anyway, and that he was probably going to be going after Cody, is they made up at the Netflix debut. They hugged, they took shots, you know, backstage on Instagram Live. He even did in this segment talk about how Mama Rhodes and Mama Rock became besties, you know. So it's like, what is happening? What are we doing? And then Cody comes out and you're acting like you have beef with him, kind of, because you want him to do what you want him to do. Then you go in the press conference, completely Dwayne, no final boss in sight. You're talking about how you love this story and the progression of it, that you and Cody don't even need to have a match eventually. And it's just like, so there's so many ways that we can talk about this. But one thing that I think is interesting is people have really enjoyed how much more realistic, I guess, wrestling has become, or how much closer to reality in general it has become, so it doesn't feel so bigger and do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about
I do.
It's no, like, it's, you can have a connection to it.
Yeah.
But I think that what The Rock is doing is like, it's too black and white. Like, even in this segment, he comes out and he's being The Rock, you know, like, and then he announces WrestleMania 42, right? And everybody's like, yay, Rock. And then a minute later, he's like, you guys are a bunch of STD-ridden trailer park trash. And I'm like, what is happening?
Because
like,
the final boss is a switch. It's a character. That's what he's like. It's a character.
But the problem is that I think I would say for a lot of people, I don't want to see that switch. I want you to be in character all the time because I want it to be believable. And the thing is it's not just because, you know, you want to believe in this like imaginary world of professional wrestling. I think when it comes to heels, it's so hard for them to make people that people genuinely hate. And so when you're then going back and forth, when people hate The Rock, me included, I don't like it when then I see like normal Dwayne. No, give me final boss all day, every day. You like, once you're out of WWE, go and be Dwayne. Go be the, you know, superstar, megastar, movie guy. But when you're around in WWE, can you still act like that asshole? Roman Reigns does it.
Yeah,
so why can't he?
Because it's a switch, like alter ego. That's why.
But
that's
I don't feel point. Like they haven't presented it that way.
To me, they have. It feels like this actually has been going on, and now the things that we've seen between the interactions we've seen between Cody and The Rock make sense. Like this, if you said that the Night After Mania segment between The Rock and Cody was weird, yeah, it was weird. Now this segment felt weird. Well, those two segments are connected. The Rock is jealous of Cody. The Rock wants or is upset with Cody because he took what was his or thought was his in the match against Roman Reigns. Now The Rock wants to take what Cody has in the WWE Championship, but he knows he can't defend and be the champion, whatnot. So he wants to use Cody as his puppet champion, corporate champion. We've seen this storyline progress for years in WWE with, the over beloved babyface who isn't what they usually think as the top guy, but they make him the corporate champion. You can be our champion and do what we want, and it's been recycled for years, and that's what The Rock is doing on a grand level with involving TKO and
But that
having him
was
be TKO's champion. Like I like that element because now we're talking about it online. All right, let's bring it up and let's bring it up in a smart way. This is a smart way to bring it up. And it actually makes sense for The Rock to do this because he doesn't need to get into the ring. He mentioned it in the press conference. He is right. This whole story, he does
so
not have
wrong.
to get in the ring with Cody. Well,
So
he doesn't
wrong.
have to. I believe he will, but this doesn't have to. He can use other people to do so. That to me, this opens the door for The Rock to have a little bit of his own alliance or authority of sorts to go against Cody, and that's the stories that Cody's going up against a bigger authority than just WWE. Like Triple H will be on his side even because they're going up against TKO, who actually owns WWE. That's unprecedented because everyone and their mother knew that Vince McMahon was the sole owner of WWE for years. Now it's another group that has it. Well, we're bringing that into light. It's weird, and people are confused by it and don't like it because it's new. We have not seen anything like this. And when people see stuff that they new don't like and are jumping to conclusions like, oh, The Rock's taking CM Punk's main event. He's taking, all this main event. No, there's
Because he
still an
did.
elimination chamber match. There's
Well,
still an elimination chamber match to
he
figure
did
out.
in the past take those matches though. So
Correct, but that was then, this is now. And
well,
we
but
still
I
have an
don't.
elimination chamber match on Saturday for the number one contendership for Cody Rhodes' WWE Championship. That's not changing. Whoever wins that match is still going to WrestleMania.
Well,
Now this adds another level of what the hell's going to happen at WrestleMania.
I wouldn't completely agree about the reason why people were confused is because it's new. I think this is because a lot of what was happening didn't make a lot of sense, or it felt like a lot of
rambles. That's why.
Yes. So that is one of my issues, is that I feel like they need to have him have a better plan when he goes out there of what he's going to say, instead of letting him just ramble on until he finally gets to a point.
Okay,
because this was like 20 minutes and it's like you could have said this in 2 sentences. You know what I mean? Like it just felt unnecessary. And so I think it was because of the walking around in circles, it felt very confusing, because it was like it would not have taken us long to get to this point had you just said it 15 minutes ago.